All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Comiskey Park in Chicago for Game 3 of the 1919 World Series between the hometown Chicago White Sox and the visiting Cincinnati Reds. Get your starting lineups here for you. For the Reds, leading off and playing second base, Morty Rath. At first base, batting second, Jake Daubert. At third base, batting third, Heidi Groh. Ed Roush playing center field and hitting cleanup as usual. Pat Duncan playing left field, batting fifth. Larry Kopp playing shortstop, batting sixth. Greasy Neal playing right field, batting seventh. Bill Raridan playing catcher, batting eighth. And on the mound, Ray Fisher. All right, now for the Chicago White Sox. Leading off today, Nemo Leibold playing right field. Eddie Collins playing second base, batting second. Buck Weaver playing third and batting third. Shoeless Joe Jackson in left field. Happy Felsch in center field, batting fifth. Chick Gandil batting sixth at first base. Swede Risberg at shortstop, batting seventh. Ray Shaw, the catcher, batting eighth. And on the mound, Dickie Kerr. Okay, so Fisher, a righty, Kerr, a lefty. So we'll start off with Kerr on the mound. And the leadoff man, Morty Rath, coming to the plate. So far in the series, Chicago leads it 2-0. They won both games at Cincinnati. So they're on a roll now. They're back at their home field. We'll see if Cincinnati can pick up a win here today. All right, a little different. I'm rolling. I'm going to roll. This is a two pitcher versus batter die. I'm just going to roll one D20 today because it doesn't matter. I'm playing by myself. So we'll use that for the result of whoever wins that contest. All right. All right. Dickie Kerr, being a lefty, going up against the lefty Morty Rath. Morty's yellow rated. Kerr's green rated. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. So Rath is -2 here. He has not fared well against all the lefties that have been thrown at him so far. Here we go. And he rolls a 3. The pitcher rolls a 3, but -2 makes it a 1. And on the D20, that's an 11 from Kerr's card. That's a ground out. So we'll roll the D6. That's a ground out straight back to the pitcher. All right, so quick throw over to first base and 1 out in the inning. All right, here we go. Jake Daubert coming up, the first baseman. He's yellow rated and a lefty. He's -2. He rolls a 3, downgrade that to a 1. Pitcher rolls a 5 and a 15 on the D20. A 15 is a fly out, and that's going to be a fly out too. Right, a little pop up on the infield, straight back up, a fly out to the pitcher. Haven't had one of those yet in the series, so there we go. All right, now we got Heidi Groh coming up to the plate. Heidi's green rated and a righty, so he's rolling straight up against Dickie Kerr. All right, here we go. Both of them roll a 1. That's a tie. We pull the wild card. It's catcher interference. Batter to first base. No runners on, so nobody else advances. So Heidi Groh is on first base with catcher interference. Ray Shaw got his glove out there a little too far and got it hit. So we have a runner on first, and we have 1 out in the inning. I'm sorry, we have 2 outs in the inning. My bad. Okay. Now we got Ed Roush coming to the plate. So make sure my scorebook's correct here. All right. Roush coming to the plate, green rated, but he's a lefty, so he's -1 to Kerr. All right. 4 -1 to 3. He loses to Kerr, who rolled a 7. It's a 12 on the D20. That is a ground out. So the last out of the inning is a ground out. And that is a nubber to the catcher. Hang on, though. Roush is a fast runner. Okay? So we're going to say our runner makes it to second. So Groh's going to make it second. Now we got to see if Roush makes it to first. All right? So the catcher, in this case, is Shaw. He's green rated. Okay? First baseman is Gandil. He's green rated. They're +2. Roush is +1, so he's at a -1 disadvantage. So he has to roll a 1 or 2 to be safe. And he rolls it 2. Roush is safe at first base. So he is on. Alright, so a little number to the catcher. They could not make the play on him. Alright, still 2 men down. The Reds still alive in the top half of the first inning. Here we are, Game 3 of the 1919 World Series. Alright, Pat Duncan coming up. Pat Duncan coming up. I need to get the phone quiet here. Duncan's yellow rated and a righty, so he'll be -1 to Kerr. Alright, so we got 2 on there. Let's see. 2 got my men on base. Make sure I've got keep track of everything properly here. Alright, -1 here for Pat Duncan. He rolls a 5, -1's a 4. Pitcher rolled an 8. A 4 on the D20 is a ground out. So the last out of the inning is a ground out to the first baseman. 3 outs. So, no run score. Going to the bottom half of the first. And leading off will be Nemo Leibold, who hasn't made an appearance in the series yet. Leibold starting out in right field tonight, or today, rather. Silly me, not tonight. There was no night games back then. Alright, Leibold being yellow rated. Fisher is a green rated, so it's -1. But it's a righty-lefty matchup, so just -1 for Leibold here. Alright, so I'll take everybody off the base there. 3 -1 makes it a 2. Fisher rolls a 7. And on the D20, that's a 1, that's a strikeout. And we'll see, that's a strikeout looking. So locks Leibold up, gets the out for the first out of the inning. Alright, Leibold stands there and watches it go. Alright, Eddie Collins coming up. Eddie's a lefty, so there's no disadvantage for him here. So he and Fisher roll straight up. He rolls a 4 to Fisher's 7. He loses, so Fisher rolls a 13 on the D20. A 13 is a fly out. And we're going to say that is a fly out to the first baseman. So a little pop up there for Collins. 2 outs in the inning. We'll move on to Weaver. Playing third base today. Now Buck is yellow rated, so he's -1 to Fisher. But he's also a righty, which makes him -2. Here we go. 2 -2 is a 0. Fisher rolls a 5. He wins it. The 7 on the D20. That's a ground out. Okay? And it's a ground out to the third baseman. So 1, 2, 3. The White Sox go down in the home half of the first. And we have no score. Moving on to the top of the second. Larry Kopp coming up. Nobody out for the Reds. Larry's yellow rated and a lefty, so against Kerr he's just -1. However, he's a switch hitter, so it wouldn't matter. He wouldn't have a disadvantage that way either. But he has a disadvantage because he's yellow rated, so -1. Rolls a 1. It's a 0 to the pitcher's 3. Pitcher wins that duel with a 1. That's a K. And we'll see if Kopp swinging. So Kopp goes down swinging. And that brings up Greasy Neal to the plate. Neal is yellow. He's also a lefty. So he's -2 to Kerr. Rolls a 5. -2 is a 3. Kerr rolls an 8. And an 18 on his card. That's a fly out. And that is to right field. I'm rolling terrible for these batters today. We'll see if that changes as we go along here. Okay, Neal is out. There are 2 outs in the inning. Bill Raridan coming to the plate. Raridan's already -2 because of his skill rating. So he's going to roll at -2. He rolls a 5. -2 is a 3. But the pitcher rolls a 1. And it's an 8 on Raridan's card. And for Raridan, that is a single. Alright, so Raridan on at first. And we'll see where that single went. Make a single to right field for Rarigan. All right, he holds up at first. All right, Ray Fisher, the pitcher, coming up. 2 outs in the inning. Fisher seeing if he can help his cause here. All right, Fisher is yellow rated, and he's a lefty, so he's only rolling at -1 here to Kerr. 4, pitcher rolled a 4, but -1 for Fisher means Dickie Kerr wins this one with a 4 on his card. It's a ground out to the catcher. So a little nubber in front of the plate, and Fisher is out. All right. All right, moving on to the bottom of the second. So far, a little bit of action, but not a lot happening. All right. Shoeless Joe Jackson coming to the plate for Chicago. Jackson playing left field as usual. He is green rated and a lefty, so he's rolling straight up against Ray Fisher. Rolls 5, that beats the 1 the pitcher rolled, and 11 on his card is a double. So Jackson slaps a double. We'll use this little extra dice here to see. Okay, I won't because I threw it away. 1 to 2 left, 3 to 4 center, 5, 6 right. Right field slaps a double to right field. Okay. Now Jackson's got average speed. Double to right field, so we'll say he holds up at second base. All right, because we have in right field for Cincinnati. Sorry, it's Neal. He's average. So we'll hold up. It'd be a 50-50 proposition for him there. Okay. So we'll have him hold up at second base. All right. So Jackson in at second. I'll leave left Rarigan on base. Sorry about that, Bill. All right. So Jackson at second with Happy Felsch coming up. All right. Felsch, the center fielder, is yellow rated and a righty, so he is -2 to Fisher. 4 -2 is a 2, but the pitcher rolled a 2, so they tied, and we pull a wild card. Home field advantage. Next 2 rolls +1. I'll leave that right here. All right. So that erases one of Felsch's disadvantages. So he's -1 for this roll. All right. He rolls a 3, -1's a 2. Doesn't matter. Pitcher rolls an 8, and a 13 on the pitcher card for Fisher is a flyout. And that is a flyout to left field. And because he's smart, Jackson's going to hold up. All right, we got 1 out in the inning with that flyout. Now again, home field advantage. Home team gets a +1 on the roll. So Chick Gandil coming up. Normally he would be at -2. He's yellow rated and a righty, but instead he'll be at -1. He rolls a 5, -1's a 4. Pitcher rolls a 5. Pitcher wins. A 10 on his card is a ground out. All right. Now, obviously, Jackson's going to hold up on the right side, but it's a ground out to first. All right. G3. Second out. Now, let's see here. Jackson is an average runner. He's yellow rated. All right. Daubert for the Reds at first base is green rated. Heine Groves yellow rated, so they're +1 on that side of it. They have an advantage on Jackson there. So the question is whether or not that was able to move Jackson onto third. We'll see what happens. 1 to 2, Jackson makes it. Anything else, he's out. Okay, because normally it'd be 1 to 3, and 4 to 6 if everybody was average. All right, but the advantage goes to the defense in this case. So 1 or 2. He rolls a 4. He is out on the way to third. So they gun him down. All right. So that is a 3-5. Third out of the inning. Still no score. Going to the top of the third. And Riesberg will be coming up next for Chicago when we come back to this side of the inning. All right. All right, so let's see. Fisher was our last guy last time, so we're back to the top of the order with Maury Rath. And again, Rath is -2. And I picked up that card there, put it back in the deck, the wild card. So we're clean again there. We got nobody out. All right. Rath at -2. He rolls a 3, -2 is a 1. Pitcher rolls a 6, and a 19 on the D20. That's a line out. The line out too. Right back to the pitcher. So Kerr having to earn his supper today by defending his position. Hang on, we just lost a die. Hang on. Everybody sit tight. Don't panic. No panicking. Aha. I found it. Retrieval in progress. Hang on. All right. Got it. All right. All right, up to bat is Jake Daubert. 1 out in the inning after the line out to the pitcher. And the retrieval of the stray dice. All right, here we go. Daubert is a lefty and yellow, so he is still -2 to Kerr. Here we go. He rolls a 3, -2 is a 1. Kerr rolls an 8 and a 7 on the D20, which means a ground out on his card. And that is a ground out to the third baseman. So quick throw over first. And he is out. 2 down in the top half of the inning. All right, moving on. Heidi Groh coming up. No disadvantage for Heidi. He's rolling straight up. So here we go. He rolls a 2, but the pitcher rolls a 6. Pitcher wins with a 7 on his D20. And that is another ground out to the first baseman. So 1, 2, 3, down they go. And still no score, kids. On to the bottom of the third. Swede Riesberg coming up for Chicago. All right. Riesberg, the shortstop, is yellow rated against Fisher. But he's a righty, so he's -2. It's a righty-righty matchup, so Fisher gets an advantage. So he's -2. 5 -2 is a 3, but pitcher rolled a 2, so Swede wins this one. A 6 on his card is a single. Let's see where his single went. Riesberg is on first, and it was a single to right field. So he slaps one down the line and hustles down to first. 1 man on, nobody out. The catcher, Ray Schock, coming to the plate. Schock's again also a righty. So facing the righty Fisher, he's at -1, and he's also yellow. So he's -2. 4 -2 is a 2. Or sorry, 2 -2 is a 0. The pitcher is 4, wins it. A 5 on his card is a ground out. That's a ground out to first baseman. Okay. Now we're going to check and see. Riesberg's got good speed. All right. So we're going to check and see if he made it to first base. All right. All right. Now in this situation, I mean, you can look at it either way. There's an out involved here, either place. Okay. I'm going to say that the I'm trying to say? I'm going to say the batter is out because they know Risberg's fast. So I have a feeling that Gamdell would have gone for got the out at first, and then seen if they can get Risberg. Okay, Risberg's green rated, Gamdell's green rated. Our shortstop, Buck's at third. Our shortstop is Risberg. So he's blue rated. Gamdell's green rated. That makes them average. I'm losing my mind here. Hang on. We got the wrong team's defense. Sorry, guys. First base is Dauber. He's green rated. All right. Shortstop is Kopp. He's blue rated. That makes it even. That makes him basically yellow rated on defense, or average. All right. Risberg is green rated, so he's got a +1 advantage. So 1 to 4, Risberg's safe. 5 and 6, he's out. He rolls a 3. That means he is safe at second base. All right. Now, when you're working through this in your own games, you might disagree with the way I just set that up. You might say they'd always go for second base, but with a fast runner at first, if you got a good jump, we didn't have the hit and run on, but if you got a good jump, at least they got the one sure out. So 1 out in the inning, and Dickey Kerr, the pitcher, coming up. Kerr is yellow rated, and he's a lefty, so he's at -1 to Fisher. All right. He rolls a 2. -1 is a 1. Fisher wins with an 8 and a 15 on his D20. 15 is a fly out. And that is a fly out to left field. And Risberg holds up at second base. All right. 2 down in the inning. Back to the top of the order. Liebold coming up. He's a lefty, but he's -1 to Fisher. All right, here we go. Rolls a 5, -1's a 4. Fisher rolls a 6 and a 9 on his card. On Fisher's card, that is a little ground out. So the ground out to the shortstop. So 6. Throw back to first for the final out of the inning. All right. We're back to the top of the 4th, kids. All right. And that brings up Ed Roush for Cincinnati. All right, here we go. Roush, the lefty, coming to the plate. He's green rated, but Kerr is a lefty as well, who's green rated. So Roush is -1. Roush rolls a 6. That downgrades to a 5. That's a hit. A 1 on his card is a single. So Roush slaps a quick single out into left field. Roush has good speed. Let's take a look at our fielders here. Our left fielder is Jackson, of course. He's yellow rated. Jackson throwing into second base. Eddie Collins, he's green rated, so they're +1. Roush is +1. I'm gonna have him hold up because I think even odds, there's no reason to push it at this point in the game. So he's gonna hold up at first. Sorry guys, I need to didn't clear my base pass. All right. 1 minute on. Pat Duncan coming up. Duncan is yellow rated and a lefty, so he's just -1 to Dickey Kerr. Rolls 4, -1's a 3. Pitcher rolls a 7, and a 7 on his 17 on his D20, and that's a fly out. That is a pop up to the pitcher. So first out of the inning on a little pop up from Duncan off the top edge of the bat. Just got under it. All right. Larry Kopp coming up. Kopp's yellow rated and a righty, so he's at -1. He rolls a 1. That's a 0. Pitcher rolls a 4. And a 17 on the pitcher card is a fly out. So another pop-up. That's a pop-up on the infield again. That's a pop-up to third base. So Roush didn't go anywhere. It's a good thing they didn't have the hit and run on. All right. Greasy Neal coming to the plate with 2 outs for the Reds. He is a lefty, so he is -2 to Dickie Kerr. Rolls a 6. It's a 4. The pitcher rolls a 6. Pitcher wins with a 6 on his card, and that's a ground out for the final out of the inning to the shortstop. So 3 outs. We move on. Still no score. Going to the bottom of the 4th. All right. Eddie Collins coming up. Now, if you're wondering, you know, I can play this. I can go ahead and bunt. You'll notice that on Collins' card, you can't be able to read it or not. On sack bunt, he's got 18 and 20. He has 3 possible bunts on here: 10 singles, 1 double, 1 triple, and 5 walks. All right. So the most likely thing he's going to do is get a single, and then follow that by walks, and followed by sack bunt or a bunt. Now, if I call a bunt, you roll it straight up the way you normally do. If you win, then it's a bunt, and he gets on first base. But if he wins, he's going to get a hit anyway, the way the game is laid out. So bunting for the initial hit just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So he's going to swing away here. Versus Fisher, again, he's a lefty, so Collins, lefty-righty matchup, righty-lefty matchup. He's green, so straight up. All right. There's Collins. He rolls a 6 to Fisher's 3. He wins it with a 7 on his card, which is a single, as we established already. And it's going to be a single out, just an infield single to second base, or over second base. All right. So Collins is on. And Weaver coming up. Weaver's a switch hitter, so he didn't have to suffer a penalty there. Since he's facing a righty, he'll hit from the left side of the plate. Against Fisher, he is -1. All right. All right, here we go. 2 -1 is a 1. A 5 from the pitcher. A 3 on the pitcher's card is a ground out. Could be a double play. Let's see. Ground out to the second baseman. All right. Let's see. So our first out, our casualty is going to be Collins. Sorry, Eddie. Out at second. Now let's see if Weaver is out on the 6-3 portion of this 4-6-3 here. All right. Our shortstop's Kopf. He's blue rated. First baseman is Dauber. He's green rated, so they cancel out. So he's average. Okay. Weaver's green rated, so he's +1. So 1 to 4, he's safe. 5 to 6, he's out. He rolls a 4, so Weaver is on at first base. But we got 1 out in the inning. Sorry, I keep forgetting to reset my outs over here. Do that all the time. All right. All right, so Weaver on at first. And Jackson coming up. Jackson green rated and a lefty, so he's minus. He's not minus anything. He's straight up. Okay. Rolls a 5. Pitcher rolls a 2. Jackson wins it with a 14 on his card. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a home run for Shoeless Joe Jackson. So the man with some pop makes it happen here for Chicago in the bottom of the 4th. So bases are cleared. Jackson scores. And so does Weaver. So 2-0 Chicago. All right. Nobody on base. 1 out in the inning. And Happy Felsch coming to the plate. Oh, let's see where the homer went. Just for grins there. Looks like it's a homer to right field. So Jackson pushed the ball the other way right down the right field line for the homer. All right. All right, Happy Felsch coming up. Felsch is a righty. He's also yellow rated, so he's -2 to Fisher. 5 minus 2, or 6 minus 2 is a 4. 8 from the pitcher, though. So the pitcher wins that duel. On Fisher's card, that is a ground out. And it's a ground out to third base. Okay? So, 2 outs in the inning. And Chick Gandil coming up. Hometown Chicago fans are going nuts. Well, they went nuts as Jackson rounded the bases. But they're looking at this, the way that these games have gone, that low scoring as they are, 2 runs may be enough. So if they just hold the lead, it may be enough. Let's see. Gandil is a righty and yellow rated, so he's -2 to Fisher. All right. He rolls a 2. That's downgraded to a 0. Fisher rolls a 4 and wins with a 3 on his card, and that's a ground out for the third out of the inning. To the third baseman again. 5-3. 3 down, but not before Chicago gets first blood with 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Okay, move on to the top of the 5th here. Raritan coming up for the Reds. All right. Raritan's blue rated. So for Dickie Kerr, he is -2 to him. He rolls a 2, -2 is a 0. Pitcher rolls a 6, so the pitcher wins. 6 on his card is a ground out, and it's a ground out to third. So the hot corner is a busy spot for both teams today. All right, 1 out. Ray Fisher coming up to the plate. Fisher is a righty, and he's yellow rated, so he's -1 to Kerr. Rolls a 3, -1's a 2. Kerr rolls a 4, so he wins that with an 18 on his card. That is a fly out to left field. All right, 2 up, 2 down. Moving back to the top of the lineup for Cincinnati. Okay, which is not necessarily good news. Rath is a lefty, and he's already -1, so he's -2 to Dickie Kerr here. So Kerr deals. 5 -2 is a 3. Doesn't matter because Kerr threw a 6. A 13 on his card is a ground out. So the final out of the inning. The 1, 2, 3 is also to third base. So 5-3 again for the third out of the inning. All right. No score again for Cincinnati. We move on to the bottom of the 5th. All right. Risberg coming up for Chicago. Again, he's our shortstop. And so far, he did single to right field last time up. So here we go. Risberg is a righty, and he's -1 already, so he's -2 to Fisher. All right. 5 -2 is 3. Okay, pitcher rolled a 3, so they tied, so we pull a wild card. Road Warriors, visiting team, next 2 rolls +1. All right, we'll put that right there. So we roll again. So Swede, now he was -2. Now he's at a, I keep throwing my dice all over the place, sorry, Neil. Risberg would have been -2, now he's -3. So the highest he can roll is a 3. All right. And again, he rolls a 6, -3 is a 3. Pitcher rolls a 7 and a 4 on his card. For Fisher, that is a ground out. All right. So that's a ground out to the shortstop. So Risberg grounds out. And let's see, the Road Warriors, the visiting team, gets another plus on this one. And Schalk is another one. He's a righty, and he's yellow rated, so he's -2 to begin with. Add the other 1 the other team gets, he's -3. So best Schalk can do is a 3. He does. He rolls a 6, that's a 3, but the pitcher rolls an 8. And the same thing, a 4 on his card, it's a ground out. All right, so Fisher tearing them up. Okay. That's 2 outs. And, sorry, I did move from last time, so there we go. All right, this goes back in the deck, kids. And Dickie Kerr, come up see what he can do up here. He's a lefty, so he's only -1 to Fisher. No advantage with the wild card now. He rolls a 5, -1 to 4, but Fisher rolls a 6. And a 6 on his card, which is a ground out. So Fisher grounds out to end the inning. Straight back to the pitcher. So Fisher helping himself there. And there are 3 outs in the inning. No score. All right, top of the 6th. Chicago still ahead. 2 runs to none for Cincinnati. Okay. Jake Daubert is coming up. And Daubert is a lefty facing the righty Kerr, but he's -1 based on his skill setting. All right. He rolls a 2, so is the pitcher, but -1 means the pitcher wins. And Kerr with a 15, it's a fly out. So Daubert pops it up right to the infield, right to the pitcher. So pop up to the pitcher. All right. Heidi Groh coming up. Groh with good speed, our third baseman, since he's third baseman. He is a righty, so for Kerr, the lefty, no platoon penalty, and they're rolling straight up. Here we go. Groh wins that one with a 16 on his card. A 16 on his card is a base on balls. So he is on at first base with a walk. All right. So we'll put Groh on first. Come to Ed Roush. All right, Roush. Let's see. So far, he did have a single to left, and he was out in the first inning. He got on first with the fielder's choice in the first inning, so he's been on twice. So 2 for 2 so far. Roush is a lefty, so he's -1 to Kerr. Rolls a 3, -1 makes it a 2. Kerr rolls a 5. Pitcher wins with a 19 on his card, and that is a line out. Line out 2, shortstop for Roush. All right. So now we're going to see if our runner, Groh, made it back or not. He's green rated. Okay. That means Koff made the play. He's blue rated. Daubert's green rated. That's +1. But Groh's green rated. He's +1. So it's a 50-50 shot whether he made it back or got doubled off. 1 to 3, he's safe. So he rolled a 2. He is good to go. So Groh still on first, but Roush is out. And there are 2 outs in the inning. Sorry, I keep forgetting to reset it after between innings, guys, but you follow me. All right, Pat Duncan coming up. Duncan's a righty and yellow rated, so he's -1 to Kerr. Rolls a 4, -1 is a 3. Kerr rolls a 6, and a 6 on his card is a ground out for the last out of the inning. Ground out straight back to the pitcher. So quick flip over to first base, and we are done for this half of the inning. All right, back over to the bottom of the 6th. All right, Kerr was our last batter, so we're leading off with Liebold. All right, Liebold's yellow. He's a lefty and he's yellow rated, so he's only -1 to Fisher. 6 -1 is a 5. Fisher rolls a 2, so he wins it with a 4, a single on his card. All right, and let's see what the single was to. Single is to left. So Liebold slaps one to left for the first runner of the inning. He is on at first base. Now he's green rated. And then our left fielder, Duncan, is yellow rated. So if we want to have him go for it, he could, but there's no point at this point. There's no reason to push it. So he's going to hold up at first. All right. All right. Eddie Collins coming up. Collins is green rated and a lefty, so he and Fisher roll straight up. He rolls a 4, which beats the pitcher's 1, and a 3 on his card, which for Collins is a single. All right. So on the surface, he's at first, Leibold's at second. But where is the single hit to? It's like a single to center field. All right. So we're going to see if our lead runner, Leibold, who's green rated, makes it to third. All right. Heine Groh, their third baseman. Cincinnati's third baseman is yellow rated. Okay, their center fielder is Roush. Roush is green rated. Okay, so +1 on defense and +1 for Leibold. All right, so 50-50 shot that he makes it. So 1 to 3 he's safe, 4 to 6 he's out. And it's a 5, he is out. So Leibold is thrown out trying to make it to third base. So he is thrown out on the 8-5 for, the first out of the inning. All right, so we take him off and we leave Collins on first. All right, Buck Weaver coming up. Weaver is a switch hitter, but he's yellow rated, so he's -1 to Fisher. Rolls a 2, -1 is a 1. Fisher rolls a 6, so the pitcher wins. A 10 on his card is a ground out, so it's possible double play here. Ground out straight back to the pitcher. So the first out is going to be Collins at second base. I'm going to spin and throw and get him out at second. Now the question is whether Weaver beat it out. Okay? All right. So our shortstop, Kopp, made the catch at second. He's blue rated. Darbert's green rated. That cancels out, so they're even. There's no advantage there on defense. And then Weaver is green rated. Okay, so Weaver has a +1 chance of making it to first. So 1 to 4 he's safe. 5, 6 he's out. He is safe at first with a 4. So Weaver is on. But there are now 2 outs in the inning because Collins is out on the fielder's choice. All right, Weaver on at first. All right, Weaver is on. Jackson coming up. Homer last time up. All right. And Jackson is batting straight up against Fisher. Jackson fails. Fisher wins with an 8, and a 3 on his card is a ground out. So a little Jackson ground out there to the second baseman. So Chicago almost had something going, but it ends quickly. All right, moving on to the top of the 7th. Kopp coming to the plate for Cincinnati. Need to do a check on Dickie Kerr. I should have actually done it last inning, guys. I'm sorry about that. His average per inning or per outing is 5.4 innings, so I should have checked this. At this point, 1 to 3 we downgrade him to rolling a D6. 4 to 6 we leave him where he's at. Okay. To 2, so we downgrade him. All right. If I want to leave him in the game. In this case, in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and pull Dickie out of the game, and we're going to put another pitcher in. All right, we're going to bring in. Let's see. Lefties are trouble for Cincinnati with their current lineup. So I'm going to bring in. Well, I said I was going to bring in a lefty. I forgot how righty heavy Chicago's bullpen is. have to be Danforth, I guess. Bring in Dave Danforth to go the rest of the distance if he can. All right, Danforth, a lefty again. All right, facing Kopf. Kopf is -1 to Danforth. So here we go. I'm not sure why I have him still on first. I guess it should be over there. All right, here we go. 4 -1 is a 3. 5 from the pitcher. The pitcher wins that with a 1. That's a strikeout. We'll see if Kopf. So he swung at it, so he got the bat off his shoulder and still struck out. There's 1 out, and Greasy Neal is coming up to the plate. Neal is a lefty, and he's yellow rated. So against Danforth, he's -2. 2 -2 is a 0. Danforth rolls an 8 and a 9 on his card. That's a ground out. And a ground out to the first baseman. All right. Cincinnati don't have much luck so far getting any runs on the board. Let's see if Reardon can get something going. He's -2 to Danforth. 3 -2 is 1. Danforth rolls an unbeatable 8 and a 4 on his card, which is a ground out. And it's a ground out to the catcher. Reardon's blue rated, so he wouldn't be able to beat that out. So a little number to the catcher, and Reardon goes down with a whimper. All right. Bottom of the 7th. And Happy Felsch coming to the plate for the hometown White Sox. Now, let's do the same thing for Fisher. 6.7 innings. We check Fisher to see if we need to downgrade him. All right? So we're in the 7th, so we'll check him. Nope. Leave him where he's at. So Fisher's good to go with a D8. So Felsch is rolling at a -1. Both of them roll a 1, but Felsch loses 1, so it's a 0. Pitcher wins that with a 12 on his card. For Fisher, that is a fly out. A pop-up. And it's a pop-up to the first baseman. All right. So, Fisher, or not Fisher, wait, not Fisher. Gandalf's coming up. 1 out. Sorry. All right, Gandalf's yellow rated and a lefty. Fisher's a left, or and a righty, I mean. So he's -2 to Fisher. He rolls a 1, doesn't matter. Fisher wins with a 15 on his card. Have to fly out again. So Fisher inducing the pop-ups here. Out to left field. All right. So can of corn out there in left. And then here we go. Swede Risberg coming up. Shortstop. Risberg is a righty. So he's -2 to Fisher. He rolls a 6. -2 is a 4. That beats a 3 the pitcher rolled. A 6 on his card. That means Risberg is on at first yet again. And we'll see where his single was hit to. Looks like a single to center field. Oops. All right. So we'll put Risberg on first. Ray Schock, the catcher, coming up. Schock's a righty and yellow. So again, he is -2 to our buddy Fisher over here. All right. And I'm sorry, there are 2 outs in the inning. Batter rolls a 2, -2, it's a 0, so the pitcher wins with a horrible 1 and a 4 on his card. So for Fisher, that's a ground out for the 3rd out of the inning. Ground out to the first baseman. Or for Schock, rather. All right. Top of the 8th. We're rolling along, kids. You can see that or not. Hopefully you can. There. A little shadow on it. There we go. All right. pitcher is coming up, which is no longer Kerr, it's Danforth. Craig, you swap that out, sir. I may not have a pitcher card for Danforth. If I don't, then I can always use my generic pitcher batter card. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's see here. Hang on one second as I go through here and double check. Looking for Danforth batting card. I don't see it. So we're going to throw. It means that he's not a good hitting pitcher, because most of the time if they're good, I've made a card for him on offense. All right, so blue rated against Fisher. Fisher has 2 outs here in the inning. Oh no, sorry, we're starting the inning, duh. Or we're starting the bottom half of the inning. No, we did it. Let's finish that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing my mind. How about if I flip the scorebook and we go to the top of the 8th, which is where I was heading here. We go to the top of the 8th. All right, Cincinnati coming up. And we have, let's see, Fisher coming to the plate, which is what I was saying over there. Fisher is yellow rated and a righty, so against Danforth, he's -1. He rolls a 4, it's a 3 downgraded to, it's a hit for him, it's a single. So, helping his own cause, Fisher is on at first base for Cincinnati. So the Reds getting something going here in the top of the 8th. All right, Maury Rath coming to the plate. Rath is, unfortunately, -2 to Danforth. He rolls a 5, -2 is a 3. 6 from the pitcher. Pitcher wins that one with a 16 with his card. That's a fly out. Okay? Fly out to right field. Alright, so our pitcher, Fisher, is going to hold up there. He's not going to take off on that. So there's now 1 out in the inning. So Fisher gets a single, and Rath flies out to right field for the first out. Okay, so 1 man on, 1 man out. Here comes Daubert coming up to the plate, and Daubert's also a lefty and yellow rated. He's -2. 2 -2 is a 0. Pitcher rolls a 4. 15 on the D20. That's a fly out again. So Fisher getting the fly balls. Or not Fisher, Danforth getting the fly ball. 18 on his card is a fly out. And a fly out to right field. So another one. 2 outs. And Fisher stays put at first. All right, Heine Groh coming up against Danforth. Danforth, the lefty, facing Groh, the righty, and they're rolling straight up. A 5 from Groh, but Danforth rolls a 6. Pitcher wins it with an 11 on his card. It's a ground out. Ground out 2, right back to the pitcher. So 1, 3, quick turn, and that's it for the top of the 8th. All right. Chicago coming up in the 8th. And Kerr will be our batter over here. I'll say Kerr, not Kerr. Danforth. Sorry. I'll put my picture in the scorebook. Alright, so Danforth leading off the 8th. We got nobody out. Danforth coming up. Let's take Fisher off first there. Danforth is -2. Oh, let's check Fisher real quick. We're in the 8th inning, so 1-3. Leave him alone. 4-6, downgrade him. 4-6, he has to be downgraded for Fisher, so let's replace him instead of downgrading him to a D6. Okay, let's replace him with let's see. We're going to bring in Bressler. Even though Bressler is a lefty, we're going to bring in Bressler to finish things up here. Alright, so Bressler is rolling against Kerr, the pitcher. Kerr is -2 against him. Pitcher rolls a 7. Kerr rolls a 6. Pitcher wins that with a 7 on his D20. A 7 on Bressler's card is a ground out. And we'll see where that's to. Let's ground out to third base. Alright. Back to the top of the order. Liebold coming up to the plate. And 1 out. Alright. Liebold's yellow rated and a lefty, so he's -2 to Bressler. He rolls a 3. Pitcher rolls a 3, but -2 makes it a 1. And the pitcher rolls a 13 on his card, which is a ground out, as a fly out. Fly out to third base. Second out of the inning. Chicago holding a 2-0 lead right here in the 8th. Liebold's out. That brings up Eddie Collins. All right. Collins, a lefty, but he is green rated, so he's just -1 to Bressler. They both roll 1s, but -1 means the pitcher wins with a 6 on his card. 6 on his card is a ground out, so the third out is a ground out. A little never to the catcher. Hold on, though. Collins is fast, so we got to do a speed check on him. All right. So our catcher is rated. He's green rated. And our first baseman is Daubert. He's yellow. He's green rated. So they're +2 on defense. Collins is +1, so he's a -1. So Collins has to roll a 1 or a 2 to be safe. He rolls a 5. He is out for the third out of the inning. Okay, so he did not beat that out to first base. All right. Moving on. Top of the 9th inning. Last gas for Cincinnati. All right. Now let's check. Our pitching is good. So it's Danforth pairing up against Roush here. Roush is a lefty, so it's Danforth. So Roush is -1. They both roll 1s, and Roush loses. And a 20 on Danforth's card's a line out, so a sharp line drive right back to the pitcher. 1 out. Cincinnati's down to 2 outs in the game. Pat Duncan coming up as a righty. He's yellow rated, so he's -1. All right. There we go. Pitcher rolls an 8. Batter rolls a 3. -1 is a 2. Doesn't matter. 15 on the pitcher's card is a fly out. So Danforth pops him up, straight up to the catcher. So a little pop up behind the plate, and there are 2 outs. And now Cincinnati's down to Kopp being their final opportunity here. They got 1 out left. Kopp's a switch hitter, but he is yellow rated, so he's -1. He rolls an 8. He rolls a 6. Pitcher rolls an 8, though. That's a 5 on Danforth's card. That is a ground out for the third and final out of the inning. It's a ground out to second base. 4-3. Collins to Gandil to end the game. And unfortunately for the Reds, that means Chicago is ahead in the series 3-0. All right, so Chicago wins it here in the third game of the World Series in 1919. They're ahead 3-0. We'll be right back here in Chicago for the next game between these two teams, so we will see you then.